Hello friends. So I made a video yesterday about my experience of my mum's death from a non-dual perspective, and in it I focused on the awareness and the experience and seeing it from this point of view. I didn't go into the ideas of life after death and things like this. So because I know I've got a few subscribers who are interested in NDEs and see that these as demonstrations that there is some life after death, I just want to say how some of the models I'm using do accept the idea that there could be a life after death. Firstly, with Bernardo Kastrup's Analytic Idealism, there are a few things. One thing is that he says that memories are not stored in the brain. So because of things like experiments done by Michael Levin on these tapeworms, planaria worms, they're taught to navigate a maze, and then you chop their head off and they clearly lose their brain. And it grows back and they can still navigate the maze. So the memories are not stored in the brain. They're stored somewhere else. Michael Levin's looking into energy fields and things like this. But according to idealism, yes, they would be outside the brain, in the mind at large. So when you die, you would still have these associations to certain brain, certain memory structures. So it wouldn't be a complete annihilation, and you would be this just pure awareness without any connection to your previous body. Another idea that he talks about is a whirlpool analogy. So you've got a river, it's all water, and then a whirlpool forms. And this whirlpool is the person, not separate from the water. You can't take the whirlpool out of the water, but it's a form within the water that restricts consciousness. And it also has all this debris floating around in it, twigs and things. And if anything isn't let go in life, then it will, when the whirlpool dissipates, it floats down the river, all these debris float down the river, with other debris from other whirlpools that have also dissipated, maybe people that this whirlpool knew during life, and further down the river they form again. And so these whirlpools could form again with some of the same debris. So some of them the same tendencies, conditioning, and things like this. So there would be some sort of continuity. It would certainly be the same subjective viewpoint, because the subjective viewpoint is the water. It's all the same subjective viewpoint, but in one whirlpool it has the limitations of that, and in another whirlpool it has different limitations. So this is another way that there could be continuity after death. Now, from Advaita Vedanta, somebody who commented said that it didn't have that, and it didn't have any explanation for life after death. And it's true. So in the very strict ultimate reality of Advaita Vedanta, Brahman is the only reality, and everything is an illusion, basically, because of Maya. It's an error. We see the rope as a snake. It's not really a snake. It's a rope. We don't see that all of this is divine Brahman. We see it as names and forms and problems and things. So that pure Brahman, the ultimate subject, has no attributes, has no qualities. Jean Klein says the only quality it has is that there are no qualities. And this is the thing that you really are. However, you have the gross body, the physical body, which dies, and then you have the subtle body. And the subtle body holds memories and conditioning, tendencies, other things like that, and that is what passes to the next life. You also have below that, you have the causal body, which is kind of the seed of what makes you you. But all of that is still just part of the transactional reality of the world. It's not really the ultimate reality. But at death, your physical body would dissolve, and then you would have this subtle body, which could go to heaven or hell, or could continue to next lives and things like that, until you realize you have enlightenment. And even if you go to heaven, for 1,000 years, or I don't know, 10,000 years, your karma runs out, basically. And it's even worse when you have to leave heaven than when you have to leave earth, because, you know, you're living a really good life. Even gods have a limitation. Of course, the ultimate reality doesn't. But even they are within this transactional reality. So from both of these points of view, which I use, they have both levels. They have the pure, the ultimate reality, which is just consciousness, existence itself, and then we have the transactional reality in which we live, and we play the game of life, basically. So we can see with these arguments that there could be continuity of the person after death. But as I said in the next video, which I may or may not release, my experience with my mother's death was very important, and I saw quite how the consciousness is a thread that never dies, that is always here. But that's for another video. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.